So so you think I could act, Gary? You honestly think I could act?
You're doing it right now. What are you
Well,
talking about?
you know, that's really kind of true. Like my entire career is an act.
Thank you. The old thing of all musicians want to be actors, all actors want to be musicians is true because they're all struggling with the same issues. To some degree, you're into it because you're confident, but your confidence is probably false. So you're kind of acting. And it happens to the degree that you can own that and let yourself be free, you can be a great actor. And to the degree that you can't, there's a lot of bit parts waiting for you because you're still going to be good.
It does kind of come down to honesty, doesn't it? At some point, all of it, because what you just described, I got to as a musician, singer, songwriter, or whatever. I got to there with that, and that's just like we were talking about the video and how I was in the initial shoot. I'm so big and over the, and it just bothered me. And we did but musically, none of that stuff bothers me anymore. I've accepted all the quirks and all that. I know my voice is weird. I know all that stuff, and none of it bothers me. And I just kind of embrace it. But seeing myself visually,
I think I have you figured out. I've got your answer. I believe it's going to change your life dramatically, but you're used to a good hard shift now and then. I believe you should take your own sight. Just go ahead and create blindness in your life. Just buy a cane, some cool dark shades, and you're going to be an amazing actor because you will never have to see it happen.
Gary,
it's a big price.
Right. I think I should take my own sight. Wow. Who knew you had such wisdom?
It's in me. It just pours out. I can't control it. Come on.
It's who you are, Gary. I love it.
Oh my gosh. This tour is going to be fun. And for people who don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the ugly sweater.
We should let them know.
Yeah.
If you just tune in, for those who just tune in, so I'm Regie Ham. It says this, Gary Chapman, Kevin Pauls. Kevin, you called me, what, 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago. And we just started the conversation because I loved some of your original Christmas music. And I was like, could I maybe use these in the shows that I do up here in Canada? Or is there a potential we can do something, maybe write some new stuff? And we just started a Christmas concert show conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
And you do like a huge extravaganza up there, right? Like you kind of wanted to bring it down here, but more stripped down, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've done a couple of Christmas TV specials, and I do a fairly significant show every year called The Spirit of Christmas, but I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to get it down in the States. Right. And so, you and I had been talking songwriting and just been talking for the last few years about stuff. And so you were the first guy I thought, I need to do something with Regie. And, we had a couple of other ideas, and then you came to me and said, what about Gary Chapman? And I said, well, Gary scares me.
I get it.
I said, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And I'm from Canada. I'm not sure that's going to be okay.
You're already behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? You're like, Gary's like the lion and you're the gazelle on the Serengeti. You know what I mean?
I felt it was more like that, the dog on the animated cartoons where the little dog's running around going, hey, you want to be my friend? Do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
And that's kind of me. And so I didn't know how it would work, but when we all got together and started chatting about the idea, I instantly knew that there was going to be some friendships out of this, but there was some synergy that I thought, oh, this could really be cool.
Well, when you said, hey, I'd love for this to be a stripped down, 3 people on stools kind of a thing. You're playing piano, maybe somebody's playing guitar. And we had I don't want to bring up who there was a third originally who couldn't do it. Great artist that just couldn't do it. And then you said, who would you I remember us having these conversations. We talked about several people.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about singer-songwriters sitting at the guitar, but can also bring an extra element of like funny and acerbic and make the night a little bit more. I said, I think that's Gary Chapman. And there he is. And so, and how we talked him into this, I have no idea. So,
well, I'll tell you, the funny thing is, so Gary and I had never met. And the very first time we meet, I walk in and I'm thinking it was maybe 15 seconds, maybe 30. There was already mockery happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this is probably going to work out very, very well. Oh, I felt so at home.
Hey, Kevin, I have a question.
Yes.
You said you like some of Reggie's Christmas music. Which songs did you not like?
I liked his original stuff. Not all of it.
Wow.
No, I do apologize.
I should take my own eyes, Gary. I'm
you really should. See,
yeah, you know what I mean?
It's getting a hold of you now, isn't it?
Yeah, now that I think about it.
And obviously, I'm going to need a bite of whatever advancements you get out of my idea.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So, no, I do apologize for being absolutely guilty of your assumption, because I do live very, very freely. I kind of always did, and then now I'm old, and you guys know the death of my dad, my amazing sweet father. He advanced that process to just exponentially. There's a cool thing that happens when you get old. You, in a healthy way, you just stop giving a rip about anything or anybody. I tell people it's why old guys wear black socks on the beach. Don't care, just don't care.
Right.
And there's something so joyful about it. Once you drink that wine, you're gonna live in that vineyard, brother, because it's so free. But in the wake of that freedom, many people do get triggered, shall we say, or flat out offended. So I have to apologize a lot. But again, I don't mind because I don't care. So it's good.
I'm sorry for what I said about you, but I really don't care.
Yeah,
I really did mean it.
I really meant it.
I will tell you too, man. Gary, I'm not quite as old as you are by like a mile, but I wish. But I'm kind of there in so many aspects of my life, and you know, my daughter really brought me to that years ago. I'm just, you just lose kind of all your shame and all your whatever and your whatever.
It's useless.
But I wish, man, I wish that people could get there sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would love to go back to 25-year-old me and say, hey, let me give you this one tip, and it's going to change everything about your life.
Dude, honest to goodness, you have, I promise you have absolutely just capsulized what I believe a large part of my mission for existing as long as I plan to on this earth is that. Because the amount of good and joy and beauty, creative work that can come out of the collective embracing of that truth is amazing. It literally is overwhelming.
Most of the good stuff we squash down because we're afraid.
Is somebody writing this down? I'm saying some.
I know, right? You're dropping some truth, man. Okay, so number one.
No, we're recording. I forgot.
Take my own eyes.
Yes.
Number two.
It all starts with that, Reg. It starts with that. Get rid of your site.
So one of the things that happened in this process, we started like a text thread, and I honestly don't quite remember, but we were looking for a hook for the show. What do we call this thing? And somebody, I actually kind of think it was me that said, why don't we do like an ugly sweater night or a
it was you did.
It was you.
It was you.
And then one of us said, well, we need a song we can all sing. I mean, this was, of all the songs that I've been a part of, this I think happened the most organically.
Oh yeah.
And without any pretense, without any, we're not trying to do, it was just like, well, we need a song we can all sing it. We should write one. And I actually have, I'm gonna, I don't know, we're gonna cut it up and make NFTs out of it. But Gary, your wife was doing our first photo shoot at
That's
my
right.
house. I was at the piano, and I have 3 minutes of us actually writing this song.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Good.
it sounded a lot different. The melodies were going
Sure.
all over the place. The lyrics were different. And you say at one point, Gary, you go, "Oh, this took like a sentimental turn. I don't even know if I like that," because we were trying to write a goofy.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be goofy.
It's all going to be a spoof, right? Like
Yeah,
the ugly
yeah.
sweater is, and it's going to be a funny song, and it turned into this other thing that we all kind of looked at each other and went, "Oh, hang on."
And then you sat there and said, "I'm not crying. You're crying."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
The first
sort of wrote
the first-
itself,
essentially the first verse, for the most part, as I recall, kind of just fell out.
Yeah.
And it was like we all kind of looked at it and went, "Oh, wait a minute. This is not what we meant at all."
No.
Which is, it kind of sums up life for me. I've come to the sad, but again, freeing conclusion that most of my plans suck. And but I gotta
Don't get me started.
but if you don't pursue those, you're not in the game, and you got to be in the game for God to go, no, don't do that. Do this. Right. And that's what he did. That's what he did in this song for me. That's what happened.
Oh, very much the same. My father used to preach this sermon about the 4 lepers. And I love this sermon. And it's, story in the Bible.
Are you going to be doing this sermon during the concert?
I may actually do the sermon.
Okay, good.
These 4 lepers in Israel are caught between a siege, right? Israel is under siege, and the Philistines are surrounding them. And in between the Philistines and the Israelites are the people nobody wants. These 4 lepers. They can't go to the Philistines. They can't go to the Israelite. Nobody wants them. And so finally, one of them looks at the other and says, "You know what? I'm not going to sit here and just die. I'm going to the Philistine camp, and I'm going to get a belly full of food before and I'm going to let them kill me." And they all agree. We got nothing to lose. And they get up and start walking toward the Philistine camp just to die with a full stomach. That's it. That's all we want. We're going to see if we can get some food before we die. And the Bible says that God amplified the sound of their feet and amplified the sounds of their voices, and it scared the Philistines, and they fled.
Yeah.
4 lepers walk into the camp, and they've got the run of the place, right? And they basically save the day, and they take all the food then to the Israelites, and it ends the siege and all that. And I always love that story because it's kind of what you're talking about, Gary. It's like at some point you just got to stand up and say, "Okay, well, let's just walk over there."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
See what happens if we walk over there. And then you never know what's going to happen on the way.
Well, then God starts producing. He's that's the value of great production, which, by the way, we're not going to have in this show. But still, it has great value. Yeah.
It's not going to be like that big Canadian show you do, Kevin.
Right.
Well, you know what? With the translation and the exchange rate, it'll be a lot the same.
It's actually, we're spending about the same amount of money.
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
I'm still kind of hung up on the metric thing. I think if we translate it to inches and feet here, it is actually a bigger production show.
It is a bigger production. The money's the big thing. Let's face it.
That's all we care about. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. Like we have literally at this point never done a show together.
No.
I mean, you and I have. Yeah. So we know, I mean, no pressure, Kevin. We know we're going to be phenomenal. So I don't know. I'm assuming you're going to be great, but
Hey, Gary's out.
So everybody, 2/3 of this show is going to rock. I can tell you right now.
And let's be, and we do that for you because you, the ticket buyer, because let's face it, you're going to have to go to the bathroom or something at some point. There's going to be a window. Be a window there. You can take a little break.
You see, this is why this is going to be so much fun, because often, especially when I'm up here and I'm putting on my big show, I've got to run the show. I got to be funny. I got to be nothing. I get to
you just
sing.
have to be Canadian. That's it.
Yeah.
I just got to be quiet and Canadian. It's beautiful. And I'll
Canadian
apologize
and
for what you guys do.
Canadian and present, dude. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Here.
We'll take it from there. I think it's going to be a blast, man. I mean, that's the other, you guys have both been in the entertainment business a long time. And one of the things that I tell people I've learned, I believe fully, is that there's really no substitute for chemistry.
That's true.
And
that's true.
If you've ever been in a band or you've ever tried to put a band together that was even just a guy, side band or whatever, man, you can find great talent that doesn't mesh. It's just like, man, it just doesn't work. For some reason, it doesn't work. And then you can find people, sometimes they don't even like each other, but man, there's serious chemistry when it happens,
Yeah. It's like marriage.
It's like,
never mind. Move along. Let's move along.
It's like love. It is. It's like finding your significant other.
It is. It is.
And I can't believe I just used the word significant other, but you know what I mean. Your person, whatever that thing is, and so for some reason this feels like we got chemistry. It just
we do.
It started that way, and that's
and
I like to be.
And let's not forget. I remember chemistry class. The best thing that happened in chemistry class is when somebody screwed up and something blew up.
Yes,
exactly. That's the best that can happen. And I promise that'll happen every show. It's
going to be like a chemical experiment every night.
We're just right on the edge. Who's going to lose it tonight?
It's funny when I do my Christmas shows, when I have done my Christmas shows up here, it's candlelights, choir, big. It was always this highbrow of Christmas. We're going to have all of that fun storytelling parts of Christmas that I think we haven't had a lighthearted Christmas. Most people that do big Christmas tours, it's a lot of highbrow stuff, and that's wonderful. But not a lot of them get to sit down like they're in a living room and hear stories, hear great music. And I think that's what we're going to bring. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is having all that, just the sentimental, fun, goofy enjoyment of hanging around somebody's living room.
That's exactly what this show is going to be. It's going to be as if these three guys were in your living room. We're playing Christmas songs. We're telling stories. Oh, by the way, we've got this. Hey, we got this new song. We like, it's just going to be very kind of low key like that. That's a part of Christmas I actually love.
That's exactly right. Until it's time to sell the merchandise, then it's going to go hard.
Very serious.
Hard. Yep. We got to move some of those dang shirts. I'm telling you. No, you're exactly right. The sweetest part of Christmas to me is not the production. I've been a part of some very significant production shows, and it's great. There's an amazing feeling that happens when 18,000 people sing Silent Night together. It's a good thing. I get it. But what kills me is my little girl singing Silent Night with me. Yeah. And I want it to be closer to that than the other. And I think we're going to nail it. I do. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it stays stripped down and kind of like in the living room, whatever, I can play wrong notes and nobody gets all crazy about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But we're going to know it's you because there's nobody else there.
And we may stop the song and point it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was your choice.
Well, I will have taken my eyes by then.
Is that the chord did you mean to play that chord?
So are you going to take your site before or after?
Yeah. No, I've got to do it before the show. So
okay, good.
Before we start the tour.
You could, a happy medium, just throwing it out there. You could just start, going through life with a couple of eye patches on, like both eyes, like pirates, but twice.
Yeah.
You could do that. Just see what it's like.
I have fully thought about changing my entire persona, and it's like wearing dark glasses and like a pork pie hat and a suit and walking with a cane and calling myself something. When I was, trying to get.
You just described a blind musician.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I fully thought about. I was like, man, if I did that, I'd probably be a superstar. But you got to commit to the bit. You got to be that guy
That's true. That's
forever,
true.
right? You know, that's the thing. When you start thinking about stuff like that, you got to. That's why I've got such respect for like people like Dylan, because he kind of did that. You know,
He did.
he committed to it forever, and you have to. Once you do that, if you come back from it, everybody's like, "Oh, come on!"
No.
You know,
Like,
you got to commit to the bit.
Like, I wonder what Leon Redbone actually sounds.
Right.
You know,
Eexactly.
Who knows?
We'll never know.
A guy like Lenny Kravitz, you know, who's just committed to the bamboo shirt. It's like every day. You know, do you ever just put a T-shirt on and just go to the grocery store?
And do any of your shirts double as a pan whistle? Does that happen?
Yeah, so, like somebody like a Mr. T. You know what I mean? Like that, Mr. T doesn't get to just ever right. He's got to keep the mohawk and the thing and the whole.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I don't want him in my life if he's not screaming at me with change. No way.
It's kind of useless having him around if he's not that.
I want the full character.
So that's for you, Kevin. I think I felt it. That was some kind of veiled thing at you. We want the full Canadian dude. Don't hold back. I mean, bring the bacon. Do it. Make it happen.
Boy, you have no idea what you're getting into when you say that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You're bringing all the A's, warmer clothes. You bringing your A game. Your A game.
Oh, see what he did there.
I saw that. That was well done.
I work with words. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, actually, technically, you're working with vowels, but still, it's good.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Right, I'm writing that one down too, Gary.
Okay, good.
Make my own eyes.
Working with vowels.
Okay, got it. All right.
Okay, you realize that we can do this all day. This is who we are.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
Is what we do.
This is the show you're getting. This is the show.
The three of us have never yet gotten together, and I don't think it will ever happen unless one of us is near death. Then we might slow down just a skosh and then start joking about it. But we have never all gotten together and this not been the vibe. Never. That's what made me want to do it.
Yes, same, absolutely same. It was like like I said, chemistry is just instant. Like, we're gonna hang out and a show will happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll turn the lights up and put us on a mic.
Showtime.
Here we go. You know.
Yeah. And then when the show's over, we're going to go right back to doing it backstage. It's not going to stop.
Nothing's changing.
No.
Is there an audience or is there not? We don't know. We don't care.
Matter. Yeah. Same show.
Well, that's the
same show. Hey, Kevin,
as I get older in this business, I'm so much more interested in the hang than the show.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about this. And I hope, I think that's going to be conveyed to the audience. I think.
I believe
you had something you were going to ask me, Gary.
If it's not, I don't care. You still owe us the money.
Thank you.
Right?
See, you're learning. You don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Good. No, Kevin, I was wondering, are you trying to sell something? What is that behind you? What is it?
So I'm a football fanatic. So I love the NFL, but I also love, up in Canada, we have the CFL. So this is the flag for my Hamilton Tiger Cats. So it's the last year they had the Grey Cup there, and my son bought me the big flag. So
that's okay. Okay, so you're not selling something. You're supporting something with your heart. I'm good with that.
That's exactly right.
I'm fine with you selling something, but if my face is connected to it as well, I'm going to need a bite. You know what I'm saying? We're going to
assume that. So
look,
we're going
we
to
all know what kind of girls we are. We're just discussing the price, right?
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thank you for joining me on the call, and everybody should come see this show. I mean, I don't know where all we're going to be yet, right? We know we're going to be in Chicago on December 9th. We know we're going to be in Cleveland, Tennessee on December 16th. We got other things pending. We're going to be in LA actually in a couple.
27th, I think, something like that.
Yeah, the end of October. We're going to be in Bell Buckle on November the 5th.
Don't forget. So tell people to go to theuglysweatertour.com. All of our dates are there. And you can see the video.
is there information for people to book us through that same space?
Yep, you can click on the agency. You can listen to our promo video. You can see our poster. You can all that kind of stuff. So you can contact us right through there. So it's perfect.
Is all that information on the website in English or is it Canadian?
It's in Canadian, but it will translate if your URL. If they see your IP addresses in the United States, it'll translate.
Okay, good.
What a time we live in.
It's amazing. Technologies.
The world we live in right now. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you next time whenever we're together again, and we'll do the ugly sweater song for all the fine folks out there.
All right. Love you, monkeys.
See you guys.
Right.
Take care.
And